Welcome to the News9 Plus Show on the world's first news and current affairs OTT platform, News9 Plus. Last year, the opposition launched their India Alliance. It was a unified plank where 28 political parties would take on the BJP and the NDA. But there were terrible contradictions in the alliance. Some of the alliance partners had been fighting each other even before the BJP had existed as a political party. And this is what seems to have happened. West Bengal Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee has broken away from the India Alliance. Her party will fight the state's 40 Lok Sabha seats on its own. Now, the TMC with 21 seats is the third largest constituent in the India Alliance, a very critical part of the India Alliance. But in just 6 months, the alliance is coming apart at the seams. Now, joining me to discuss this unraveling of the India bloc are senior journalists Shikha Mukherjee, Sandip Ghose, and my colleague Sudha Sadhanand in the News9 Plus studio. Welcome to the News9 Plus show. I want to start by asking Sandeep, decode for us Mamata Banerjee's moves. Is this a case of no confidence in the Congress's ability to deliver in the Lok Sabha elections, that she's decided to cut loose and make the most of Lok Sabha seats?
No, I think, what is Congress's ability or inability, Mamata Banerjee would have had a fair assessment right from the beginning. But in any alliance or any partnership, you have to see what's the quid pro quo. What do you expect in return?
Yeah.
And Congress had very little to offer her, or rather for Mamata Banerjee to give up her number of seats from West Bengal. You must understand that, West Bengal is really her home turf and her home ground. Now, whatever she is in the parliament today in Lok Sabha, it is by the strength of the seat she has got in West Bengal.
Right.
If she gives something away there and thereby reduces her tally from West Bengal to Lok Sabha, she will be also weakening her position even within the India Alliance.
Right.
So she has to get something in return from them to be able to, to give something. And I suppose therefore she had asked for seats in the Northeast. That's the, Congress can really offer her anything with some degree of guarantee if they were to give us something in Northeast, which Congress wasn't prepared to do. So I think it's a very, very unfair deal which was happening. So it was only expected that this would turn out as it did.
Yes, and Shikha, this thing that Sandeep mentioned, the fact that there's very little that the external partners can really offer regional parties who are very strong in their own states, in their respective states. And Mamata's is a clear case of the TMC being the #1 party in West Bengal. So was that not known at the very beginning? I mean, these contradictions were known 6 months back. So why is anyone surprised that Mamata Banerjee decided, and especially after the 3rd December results, when it became very clear that the Congress was in no position to take the BJP on its own?
Yeah, I think, it's interesting. If you look at how Mamata Banerjee has been talking about the whole thing.
Right.
If you look at the way in which she approached the issue, right at the beginning, she said that each party on its own turf, the party that is dominant in its own turf, will fight the BJP directly. In other words, it should be a one-on-one contest between the dominant party in power in a state and the BJP as the challenger. So if you look at what she's doing now, it kind of follows from the existing logic of her argument. Prior to the India Alliance, even at the stage when the India Alliance was being cobbled together.
Right.
And if you recall, she was very specific in December that the Congress has to get its act together on seat sharing by the end of the month.
Right.
And she'd given that deadline. The fact that the Congress has still not got its act together is something that irks Mamata Banerjee, and she is preparing herself to fight the campaign now.
Right.
She is preparing to take on the BJP now, and she has that compulsion, which Sandeep mentioned very correctly.
Right.
That she needs more than anything else, please recall that in 2019, she did suffer a setback.
Yes.
The BJP won 18 seats, and that was a huge shock to her. And that is why the 2021 election was so keenly
Right.
contested between
Right.
the BJP on the one hand and the Trinamool on the other. And it is also true that the Congress today has very little uh, elbow room in terms of vote share, in terms of what it can do or what it can win in West Bengal.
Right.
And then look at the next thing that happens. As soon as Mamata says that she's going it alone, and
The
this is
Aam
not
Aadmi Party.
unpredictable,
Right.
Aam Aadmi Party has followed suit, and it
Right.
says that no, we are going to contest in all 13 seats. The fact is that the Congress is, I think, uh, taking things at a pace which is uncomfortable for other parties of the India alliance,
Yes.
because they are already fighting on the ground against the BJP, and they need to get their campaigns going.
Right.
There is no time that they can spend in waiting for the Congress to decide how it's going to play this election.
Right. So, Sudha, this point that Shikha mentioned, the fact that everyone's waiting for the Congress to get its act together, and the Congress thinks it's still that national party, but in terms of vote share, mind share, whatever you look at it, it's now been reduced to a regional party almost.
Absolutely.
It's possibly the first among equals.
Yeah, it's completely, today when I did my show, the South
Yeah.
Indian, I said that as much, that it's disintegrating.
Right.
I stick my neck out, and the process began long time ago,
Right.
but now it's coming to fruition, as it
Yes.
were. So today was Maan, of course, Mamata has spoken,
Right.
Maan has spoken. It could be Akhilesh the day after.
Yes.
And I do not know about, we keep saying that they need to get their act together. Do
Right.
they even know what the act is?
Oh, that's
I don't think they have a clue about what the act is. And Sandeep,
Right.
no one is thinking, I do not know, but my heart went out for that old man sitting there,
Yeah.
Mallikarjun Kharge,
Yes.
who was brought in so that he could work as a glue to keep disparate thoughts together.
Right.
He was supposed to be somebody who made Siddaramaiah and Shivakumar sit down and say, listen, this is not the time to fight.
Right.
But, it all seems to have come to naught right now, Sandeep. So,
Right.
what is the act? That's the big question.
So the act, Sudha, if I may, is to take on a combined opposition, takes on the ruling party, which has got a majority. And I'm looking at the last two times it's happened. 1977, Mrs. Gandhi, the opposition comes to power,
Right.
rules for 2 years, then collapses.
Okay.
Then you have 1989, single party, the Congress, the largest majority in India's political history, 400 plus.
Right.
Rajiv Gandhi is, defeated, voted out of power. But since then, we've not seen single party rule. We haven't seen a party come to power on its own. And
Right.
that seems to be the game plan.
Well, okay, if that may be true, I mean, it's happened, and you historically, you listed
Yeah.
the instances. What was the so-called group doing when Udhir Ranjan Chaudhary
Yeah.
has gone hammer and tongs against Mamata Banerjee?
Mamata Banerjee, yes.
It's been almost a fortnight.
Right.
I mean, I don't think that Mr. Chaudhary
Yeah.
went and did this on his own. I
Yeah.
mean, after all, the Congress is still works like a corporate entity. I
Right.
mean, you don't go around doing these things.
Bad-mouthing
you
your
can't. So the
alliance
thing is
partners,
that
yeah.
if you want this to work,
Yeah.
then all of you get your act together.
Right.
You can have your ambitions.
Yeah.
You are all regional satraps.
Right.
But then this entire thing of this so-called romantic thing is we
Yeah.
are here
Yeah.
to defeat Modi.
Right.
It's kind of hypocritical, according to me, because there is no act as of now.
There is no act, and Sandeep, do you agree with this? The fact that it's worked in the past when you're up against very strong leaders, like in '77, Mrs. Gandhi, and in '89, Rajiv Gandhi, right? And that worked because you had an issue, you had
Yes.
the emergency,
Yes.
you had Bofors. But here there doesn't seem to be anything that you can kind of really build a platform on. So, what's the future of the India bloc?
See, Sandeep, again, I'll go back to what I was trying to tell you. And now, first of all, you said the contradiction. I don't see the issue so much in terms of contradiction, in terms of, philosophy, ideology, or anything, because ultimately, the glue together was everybody is anti-BJP. You want
Yeah.
to throw out BJP, and that's to that extent it's fine. But as I was telling you, see, if you look at 1977, it was like kind of an alliance largely between equals. Okay,
Right,
people
right.
give or take 5, 10 seats here and there. Everybody had something to contribute in the
Yeah.
pie.
Right.
But now the problem arises if you see as on date, if you go by the today's assessment, there is no guarantee that Congress on its own can get more number of seats than what a Trinamool or a CPM or a DMK can get in their
Right.
own term.
Yes.
So if Congress therefore cannot afford to give up seats also, so
Yes.
that's why found in Madhya Pradesh,
Yeah.
the reaction Congress had to Samajwadi Party,
Right.
when Kamalnath said with Samajwadi Party. And
Right.
now, if Congress expects Samajwadi Party to give
Right.
them seat in UP,
Yeah.
why should they do? Why should Akhilesh cut his own base and take, for instance, Bihar?
Right.
Nitish Kumar is, fighting for survival. How many seats he can get out of RJD is a point.
Right.
RJD itself is doing now. Will they give on a platter to Congress 5, 10, 12 seats out there?
Right.
Now, the same issue arises everywhere. So, except say for a state like Maharashtra,
Yeah.
where there can be some degree of distribution between these three people.
Yeah.
Other states, there is nothing. And wherever Congress is strong, they themselves would not like to part with seats because that will reduce their entire tally and they may not take them up beyond that 44 or whatever. And that will put paid to Rahul Gandhi's ambition of becoming prime minister. But the over and above that is the issue of Sandeep, Congress continuing to behave as a numero uno.
Right.
And that is what rubs people. Mamata Banerjee is quite right in saying you're coming into Maharashtra, West Bengal.
Right.
You haven't been given an official invitation.
Yes.
And today I was hearing Jairam Ramesh in his press conference, Barpeta, said, no, Rahul Gandhi has said anybody of the Indian Alliance, India Alliance is welcome to join the Yatra.
Right.
Is that a kind of invitation you give to your partner?
Yeah.
If there is a function in your house, or Sudha's house, will she just say, okay, if you feel like you please come, everybody is welcome to come.
Right.
You don't turn up like that.
Yeah. So, turn up unannounced, as they say. But, the other point was that the TMC mentioned the fact that, look, it should have been an India march and not a Congress stroke Rahul Gandhi march.
Right.
That would have been the ideal thing for the Congress to do, that look, sabka saath, sabka vikas, take the entire opposition on that walk. But Shikha, this thing of why did the Congress say that, look, we are going to do a Rahul Gandhi walk and it's going to be a Congress thing and not an India alliance walk? Could the Congress be riding in two boats at the same time? And this is the point that the Trinamool has picked on very forcefully yesterday.
Well, yes, I think that's true. I mean, Congress has to figure out where it stands.
Yeah.
Is it leading a walk on behalf of itself and projecting Rahul Gandhi, or is it taking a walk at a time when really I don't know whether the Congress can politically or financially afford this expense.
Right.
It is doing so when it needs to be concentrating on something entirely different, which is the preparing to challenge the BJP in the election. And Mamata Banerjee has also made the point that 300 seats, Congress can go and fight the BJP on 300 seats, but not on these 42.
Right.
I think that's precisely the point that everybody is trying to make.
Yeah.
From the AAP to Mamata Banerjee, and I'm sure it's going to happen in Bihar.
Right. It could happen in UP as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's already happened in UP. If you realize that Akhilesh made the very simple point that before December 3rd, that that he would have no truck with the Congress in UP. So I think the Congress and Mamata Banerjee's reaction is an indicator that there is a problem with the way in which the Congress is handling the whole thing.
Right.
The regional parties, and I think we would be missing the point if I did not say that for the BJP, it's probably easier if the India alliance if the failure of the India alliance can be pinned onto the Congress, because then it can in some way weaken the appeal of the regional parties, because
Right.
when the BJP has to face a Mamata Banerjee in, say,
In her
West
home
Bengal,
turf, yes.
or the AAP in Punjab,
Yeah.
or the AAP in Delhi for that matter, the BJP is not as strong as it is if there
Yes.
was a Congress partner
Right.
in the alliance, creating the friction points within the alliance
Right.
and in the seat sharing, etc. Where one of the things about all of this is that so late in the day,
Yeah.
how do you get a seat sharing to work? Because
Right.
a seat sharing involves transfer of votes.
Yes.
If your alliance is not sounding healthy and strong
Yeah.
and absolutely glued together,
Right.
with gorilla glue or something like that,
Yeah.
uh, the problem of vote transfer will always be there.
Yeah. Absolutely. That's
And
an
if
important point. Yes.
vote transfer is to happen,
Yeah.
then the alliance has to be up and running. Not just now; it should have happened about a year ago.
It should have. And Sandeep, my last question to you is this fact that Shikha mentioned Congress is walking when it should actually be fighting, and fighting a war, and this transfusion of votes. It's you're literally staring the elections in the face. It's just 2 months away. Is it too late now for anything to happen? Is it going to be like every party now fights the BJP on its own turf, and we'll see after the elections if we can come together? Because there's talk of something like 80 seats where they're not going to have. They're going to fight against each other. India alliance partners. So what's the prognosis, road ahead next 2 months?
Sandeep, I'll just take a minute to comment on the walk itself. What is the walk about? If Congress was saying the walk is about ideology,
Yeah.
They should stick to that. But what has happened is you go to Manipur, make a certain amount of point, and then you come to Assam and make it like a personal, I mentioned in some other channel yesterday, it's a juvenile spat between an ex-congressman and Rahul Gandhi. Now,
Right.
what has happened in the process,
Yeah.
Manipur is forgotten.
Right.
Okay, nobody remembers Manipur.
Yeah.
And even if they try to say Rahul Gandhi makes a speech that we are fighting for ideology, etc., but nobody is viewing it as that. They're just
Right.
viewing it as a one-on-one spat between Himanta Mr. Sharma and Rahul Gandhi. So what
Right.
is your messaging? And finally, I think Shikha touched a very important point about funding.
Yeah.
Who funds these walks? It's not funded by the center, party's central high
Yes.
command. It is the local people, local outfits which do. Now you're exhausting their coffers by financing this walk. What will be they left with to fight elections?
Right.
And it's not just a question of transfer of votes. Assume somebody were to give tomorrow Mamata Banerjee a change of heart and says to Adhir Ranjan Mukherjee that you please take 5 seats. The people who are fighting here, will they be able to mobilize that kind of funding in this short period?
Absolutely.
So
It's a walk that's going to end up bleeding the Congress rather than building brand Rahul. But
Absolutely, and
walk
considering
will become walkover.
walk becomes a walkover. But thank you very much, Shikha and Sandeep, and my colleague Sudha for joining us in this India bloc unraveling saga. We recently did the story Photo Op on the contradictions within the India bloc constituents. Let's watch.
एक साथ मिलकर हम बीजेपी को हराने जा रहे हैं।
We are united. We will fight unitedly.
In a blow to the opposition unity, the BJP has split open Sharad Pawar's NCP in Maharashtra.
एक और नरेंद्र मोदी अमेरिकी संसद को संबोधित कर रहे हैं, दूसरी ओर 17-18 दल पटना में इकट्ठा हो रहे हैं और कह रहे हैं मोदी हटाओ देश बचाओ।
They lack a narrative, they lack a face, they lack an organizational network on the ground.
Buying a house is a dream aspiration for almost every Indian. Now, the housing boom of post-liberalization India meant easy bank loans, and the fact that India's middle class could now buy their dream houses. But there's a dark side to this story. Today, there are over 500,000 homes in India worth over rupees 4 lakh crore that are delayed and stalled, with buyers running pillar to post 77% of these houses are in Delhi NCR and in Mumbai. And joining me in the studio today are 3 house owners who've still been waiting for their dream houses years after they paid for it. Commander Rajiv Sardana and Amit Shukla. And joining us on the line from Mumbai is Bushra Asif Sadkhed. Welcome to the News 9 Plus show. Commander Sardana, I want to start by asking you, what did the builder promise you and what did he deliver? And how long has it been for you now?
See, our project, there are around 3,200 investors, people who were promised their shops and commercial establishments who invested in 2006 and it was supposed to be given in 2009. Residential units, more than 1,500 of them, which were supposed to have been delivered in 2011 and it's 2024. Almost 1,300 people out of the 3,200 have paid 100% of the payments. So till date, for the last 10 years, they're still standing where they are with no end in sight.
And this was, you built up all this while you were in the Navy. You saved for this property while you were in the Navy.
See, unfortunately, most of the people who are stuck in these projects are people from the salaried class.
Yeah.
More than 300-400 defense personnel, policemen, lawyers, doctors. So it's hard-earned money, and you have got into the hand of these unscrupulous builders who don't even own the land.
Right.
They have created a corporate whale, and the land is in the name of their wives. They have sold it in connivance with the authorities, the local authorities, Greater Noida Authority. They have sold it to the normal public.
Right.
And today, when the matter is stuck in the courts since 2015, the FIRs were registered, they went in for a few months to jail and all out on bail for 30-40 crores, which is peanuts for them, which is our money. And the reason these people never got any loans against their projects was because they didn't have the capacity. They paid only 10% down payment to get huge plots of land allotted from the previous governments, which has since 2005, which is the main reason of the mess it's in today.
I want to bring
people
in Amit,
who are not
Commander Sadhanand, I want to bring in Amit Shukla here, and this very similar story to yours, Amit. Can you tell us what exactly happened and how long you've been waiting for your house?
Actually, I was waiting around 8 years for my flat.
Yes.
So the thing is that I was thinking that is a scam which is built by the bankers, authority, and builder.
Right.
जो स्कीम उन्होंने मुझे सेल किया था, that scheme is subvention.
Right.
उस वक्त में subvention का इतना boom चल रहा था, all are attractive with that particular subvention scheme.
Yes.
उस वक्त उन्होंने बोला कि आप इतना पे करें,
हम
आपका जो भी पार्ट बनता है EMI का, वो हम आपका टिल पोजीशन तक पे करेंगे. और जैसे ही वो स्कीम का बैंक से सेटल खत्म हुआ, उन लोगों ने मेरे से अप्रोच किया कि भाई हम वो नहीं पे कर पाएंगे, आप पे करो, हम आपकी एडजस्ट कर देंगे. After then they just deny that कि भाई हम कुछ नहीं कर पाएंगे, आपको पूरा पेमेंट देना पड़ेगा.
So they showed you all these rosy dreams and those brochures, Commander Sadhanand, as you mentioned, and then it's like a Ponzi scheme, isn't it?
It's exactly a Ponzi scheme. These were not banks. These people could not have raised money from the banks. They took out a scheme called assured returns. So they'll give you 12% assured returns. So a person said, if I'm going to get assured returns, which is better returns from the bank, why not I give them this money? And I will get my property also. So it was a domino effect. People kept getting pulled in, and the previous ones, before they could open the mouth, new fresh ones were getting entangled. Finally, 1,000 crores, where did that money go? You have bare shells today and land banks which are there in the names of the different companies, corporate whales. So the Ponzi scheme, whether it is a small amount, but here the Ponzi scheme is of huge people who have given their whole lifetime, retirement benefits.
Life savings, retirement benefits, all of that.
And it's a financial crime which is, it destroys not just the individual, it destroys the family. The children are not able to go to school. People are not able to get their daughters married. But the ruthlessness of the builders is amazing. There is no end to it. And the common man does not have the wherewithal to fight the system, the legal system which we have in India, which is in the Stone Age.
Right. And I want to bring in Bushra Asif Sadkhed from Mumbai. Bushra, welcome to the News 9 Plus show. you've been listening to Amit Shukla and Commander Sardana, very similar stories. They were attracted by the scheme, they were given all these assured returns, Ponzi scheme-like things, and they've been running around for their houses for 8 years. Tell us your story. How different or how similar is it to their stories in Mumbai?
Absolutely. So my dad bought a house in Pune in 2017. He booked the house, the flat, and it was a single building. It was not some, huge society or some known builder. It was just a simple building with 5 floors and only 10 flats. And the structure was ready. So that, the small things like tiling and flooring, lift and windows, all those things were left. So when the builder said that it will be ready in 6 months, it's obvious. It was like, okay, it's believable that it's going to be ready in 6 months. So it's since 2017 till today, the structure stands the same. Absolutely no work has happened there, and he has taken almost 85% of the payment by saying कि मैं अभी करने वाला हूँ, but he has not done that at all.
And where is the builder now? Is he still? What's his explanation for not completing the building?
He's almost MIA. He's not there.
Right.
Vanished. So he's there in Pune. Whenever we go to his office, whenever he sent thousands of mails, my dad has sent him, I have sent him. We call him on the phone. He doesn't answer WhatsApp. Nothing. He had even gone to jail once in I think 2020. But we didn't know that. In 2020, he had gone to jail for some other scam that he had done with some other people on some other issue.
And that's a story, Bushra, I'm going to ask Commander Sardana this, because you mentioned, Commander Sardana, we were speaking earlier on, that your builder went to jail as well. In fact, you had a hand in jailing him.
Yes, I did have a hand in jailing. There were 660 complainants in the EOW FIR, in the Economic Offences Wing FIR. What people don't understand is that there is something beyond the normal man has not seen a court or a police station the way I had never seen till 2015. So we feel that if we made a complaint to the police is not taking any action. The police does take action. The police will file a charge sheet. They'll arrest them. They'll put them behind bars. But eventually, the courts have to punish him for whatever he's done. And our legal system is in the Stone Age. We cannot blame the police. And these people are aware that the legal system will take donkey's years. When the builder told me on the face, he says, आधे मर जाएंगे, आधे भूल जाएंगे. Half of them will forget and half of them will die. And I told him, I said half of them might die, but half of them will not forget. None of them will forget. So yes, and it does take a lot of effort, because you have no knowledge of the legal systems, you don't have knowledge how the police works, you don't know how the authority works, you go by face value of the person and by the brochures, and you have given all your earnings to him. And like this lady was mentioning, that the structure is ready, but only 15 to 20% cost goes into the structure. 85% of the money goes into the furnishing the flat or the house. So when he shows you that I finished 85%, he's taken almost 85% of the money. He's taken his money and he's vanished. Now you keep furnishing the flat, which takes the majority of the money, and the money is not there. And it is not that the money is not there. They siphon it off into other schemes, other projects, siphon it off abroad. In fact, my builder, he has bought diamond mines abroad. So where does 1,000 crore go? It is putting a brick on brick. It's not rocket science. You're not sending a rocket to the moon.
It's a very elaborate money swindling scheme. And Amit, what is
my
your
project
experience?
is already completed and 100 of families are living there. But still, वो कहते हैं नियत खराब हो गई है. He is thinking कि उस particular apartment का, उस flat का rate काफी बढ़ गया है. Now he is asking more money. I have already made more than 100%. The cost of my flat is around 58 lakh rupees at that time. Now it's the market that is particularly rate for this flat is around 85 lakhs. So he is asking me to just surrender that or else give me more 20 lakhs, 13 lakh rupees. Otherwise, I will not give any flat to you. I have the RERA order also in favor of me. But still, he is not giving me that.
So, Bushra, the Real Estate Regulatory Authority, or RERA, as Amit was mentioning, it's constituted by the government to help home buyers like you. About 2016. Tell us your experience of RERA. What has it been like? You filed an application. What happened after that?
I filed an application in 2020, September 2020, and then we got the first hearing almost after a year, that is November 2021. And obviously RERA cited that, okay, it's COVID, so sab kuch delay ho raha hai, so we went along with it. I mean, what else can we tell? We can't say, we can't do contempt of court, right? We can't say anything. So We said, okay, fine. At least they're hearing. They said 60 days का time होता है कुछ ऐसा dispose कर देते. But that is clearly not the case, and I don't think it's COVID. ऐसा ही है ये system. But that's my opinion and my personal experience. And in November 2021, when there was an online meeting, obviously it is all digital. So we thought it's great because you can file the complaint online. It's user friendly. It's so easy. Only 5,000 rupees you have to pay. Obviously, if you get an advocate, it'll cost much more. But that's up to person to person. So I decided I can do it. I'll file it. That's the whole point of being so simple and not going to court and getting into that hustle. So. And I took so much time because हमारे जो agreement में it was written 18 months since the date of agreement and registration happened in September 2017. So it was March 2019 में we had to get possession. So I waited a year to negotiate with the builder. We waited, my dad waited, we spoke to him. बहुत बार उसने खाली टालते गया. So we understood that this is not going to work. Then we decided to go to RERA last. And he thought we are scared from going to court. Obviously, everybody is. Indians. India ka system is so bad. We went to RERA in November 21. We had our first hearing. उसमें audio का issue हुआ था. Even right now connecting on Zoom थोड़ा सा वो issue होता है वो system का. When that issue happened and he took our name, we replied to him, but वो audio आवाज नहीं गई. And then once, like just a minute after he finished taking our name and went to the next person, like there were like 20 people in that, 15, I don't know, 10, 15 people. तो एक साथ खाली सबका नाम लेके बस आगे आगे बढ़ाने का था डेट. ये है, ये नहीं है, ये है, ये नहीं है. मेरा ऑडियो नहीं गया, हमारा ऑडियो नहीं गया. आफ्टर अ मिनट व्हेन आवर ऑडियो केम बैक, हिज असिस्टेंट, इट वाज द चेयरमैन ऑफ रेरा, आई थिंक महाराष्ट्र चेयरमैन, एंड ही वाज लाइक, शी टोल्ड हिम कि इनकी आवाज आ गई है वापस, इनका ऑडियो आ गया, इनका ले लो. ही सेड नो एंड ही मार्क्ड अस एब्सेंट. So we couldn't argue also. So that was absolutely, I did not like that at all. I don't think that was, आप home buyers के लिए कर रहे हो, अगर हम यहाँ present है, हमारा face दिख रहा है, हमारा audio नहीं आ रहा है, तो आप consideration कर सकते हो. It is not the biggest, मतलब इतना बड़ा कुछ नहीं है, but ठीक है. Then we waited again. The next hearing came in April 22. And उसमें the builder was not there. So again the builder is absent, तो argument होगा नहीं करके he asked if you want to negotiate with the builder conciliation. We said no because we have negotiated enough and बहुत time हो गया. It's like 20 में मैंने डाला है, 22 में हम ये second hearing कर. After that, now in January 8th अभी 2024, after that 2022, उतने time के बाद 1 year 9 months I think. उतने टाइम के बाद हमारा थर्ड हियरिंग हुआ. उसमें भी बिल्डर, because the builder has understood, his lawyer has understood.
So they basically tire you out. They basically give you date, as that Hindi film dialogue goes, Tariq pe Tariq. They just make you go in courts. And
government in fact, also and the builder also, both.
The builders, the three builders who Commander Sardana, Bushra and Amit Shukla were talking about, we in fact at News9 Plus sent them this questionnaire a few weeks ago. And we haven't got a response. In fact, the response would be something like this, blank sheet of paper. But that's how the system works. It basically tires you out. And Rajiv, I want to ask you this. What does a builder, what does a home buyer do in a situation like this? You've been there, you've suffered for 6 and 7 years. What advice would you give to wannabe home buyers, especially in Mumbai and Delhi, because the maximum number of cases are in these two cities?
Yes. See, if anybody is buying a house today, he should not buy it if he's not getting possession and registry the same day.
Right.
And he has to do a due diligence. We do due diligence before buying, a mobile or even a T-shirt or any good. And we go buy, brochures and we go in good faith and give away our life's earnings. So one has to be very careful because the most unscrupulous people in this whole chain are the property dealers also.
Right.
And flat builders, it's a whole team. The whole team, they go with this whole scam of, if they want to take your old money. Because the brokers are getting very high commissions on this. So one has to be very careful about, getting involved and don't buy anything.
Point number one is due diligence.
Do your due diligence. Ask 10 people. Don't go get carried away. Ask your more and more people do 10 different checks. And today RERA came in 2016. See, when things go berserk, when things are out of control in the whole country, that is why RERA was brought in. But RERA has more or less been very toothless, I would say, till date.
Right.
Another court, which is the National Company Law Tribunal, which came in, which was supposed to resolve cases in 270 days. My cases have been in NCLT for the last 6 years. 270 days has become 2300 days and no end in sight. because the courts are obviously overburdened. Another aspect to look is that if you are already entangled in this, you have to be careful of your personal safety also.
Right.
I have, been at the hands, because I was pursuing the criminal cases also. I've been beaten up black and blue by the goons. I didn't still stop. They had, corrupt cops getting behind me. Eventually, I could put those cops behind in jail also. But not everybody has the, fortitude to fight. And here
not
I am,
everybody is a trained soldier or a military veteran like you, Commander.
See, there are a lot of military veterans in this project also of ours, but only one of them is a Samaritan. And if I wanted, I could take my own money and walk out. But my aim is to get, justice to all these 3,200, and it might take a little more time, but we will win this case.
Right, absolutely, and you will, and prayers and hopes are with you. But Amit, what would your advice be to wannabe home buyers? Like, going from your experience, what would you tell someone?
Actually, my builder is a reputed builder at that time when I have searched so many properties and just checked builders also. That's an Ajnara builder, which I bought that particular flat, Ajnara Homes, in society of this Noida Extension. So, उस time पे तो उसका नाम काफ़ी अच्छा था. But after then when I realized कि जो brochure में होता है वो कुछ नहीं होता है वहाँ पर. After then when they just give you that particular flat, उसमें इतना कुछ चेंजेस हो जाते हैं, दैट इज यू कैन नॉट इमेजिन दैट कि 4 लिफ्टें दिखी आई हैं, नाउ आफ्टर देन दे जस्ट डिनाई फॉर 2 लिफ्ट्स की भाई नहीं है, अभी हम नहीं कुछ कर सकते. व्हेन यू जस्ट गिव दैट बुकिंग अमाउंट, वो जानते हैं स्कैम में एक बार हमको उसका बायर से पैसा मिल जाए, 1 लाख रुपए भी मिल जाएगा, ये हमारे पास फंस गया. अब ये हमारा कुछ नहीं कर सकता, बिकॉज नाउ राइट नाउ आई एम पेइंग माय रेंट आल्सो एंड माय ईएमआई आल्सो. बिल्डर का यहाँ कुछ भी नहीं जा रहा है. And I approached so many big politicians also to just help me. BJP कहाँ सब जगह गया, but लेकिन nobody helped me. I don't know why they afraid of this builder. जब मैं यहाँ सही हूँ, I have not, मैंने किसी का मर्डर नहीं किया है, मैंने कोई चोरी नहीं की है. Why they are not helping me? मैं यहाँ मेरे पेपर के साथ सही हूँ, मैं सब कुछ. फिर भी ना रेरा मुझे सपोर्ट कर पा रहा है, ना मुझे गवर्नमेंट सपोर्ट कर पा रही है.
Right. So what is the solution, Commander?
See, the answer to that is, see, if no politician will enter in this whole thing, because once the matter has reached the courts, only the courts will decide.
It becomes sub judice.
Yes, the matter is sub judice. Before that, the politicians will not enter it. There has been a change that fly-by-night operators who've taken big plots at 10% of the value, who were never builders, they paid their bribes, got the plots allotted to them, and collected the public's money without delivering anything. So those things are changing a bit. Yes, that not fly-by-night operators who have nothing to do with the real estate became builders. That period was like that. The state government machinery was helping, in this whole thing. So one must not expect any help from any politician.
You can't get any help from any politician. Bushra, what would be your last
bureaucrat will not be able to help
closing comments from you, Bushra? What would you advise prospective home buyers to watch out, so that nobody else falls into this kind of a trap? What would be the danger sign according to you?
Honestly, I'm not a home buyer. It's my dad, so I'm just learning from his experience. And I think that firstly, I would think that don't go for an under construction flat, even though if it's like completely up there, you really don't know kitna time lagayenge ye log. Second thing is, I also feel that when they ask, that builder comes and says कि इतना हो गया है, इतना पैसा दो, आप जाओ और आप देखो. The problem what happened with us is because my dad is out of India and I was in Bombay. I was studying. I was in my bachelor's. I was doing my bachelor's and it was in Pune. This flat is in Pune. तो हम वहाँ नहीं थे, तो वो जो बोल रहे, we have nobody to cross check. So we just paid because कोई आके बोलता है इतने पैसे दो, नहीं तो मैं आपसे इंटरेस्ट ले लूंगा, नहीं तो आपका ये हो जाएगा, आपका ड्यू डिलिजेंस खराब होगा, you are delaying the payment. वो सोच के my dad started selling off his assets and he bought. मतलब he paid the builder. Otherwise he would have never paid. अगर वो जाते और देखते कि ये तो हुआ ही नहीं, he would have questioned it. So I think you should do that. That is one thing I learned from this entire experience.
Right. So I'd like to thank you very much, Amit, Commander Sardana and Bushra. You can watch this excerpt from our News9 Plus story, Who Stole My Dream Home?
आफ्टर मैरिज माय वाइफ सेड कि यार बड़ा अच्छा ऑफ़र आया हुआ है, 9.85 लाख में घर मिल रहा है, इतने सस्ते में तो घर मिलना मुश्किल है, तो चलो हम लोग भी देखते हैं और घर बुक करते हैं।
लाइफ में एक फ्लैट जो है बड़ी मुश्किल से खरीदा है मैंने, कैसे भी करके मुझे फ्लैट लेना है यहाँ से।
There's this societal status that if you are living in a rented home, you've done nothing in life.
If you want somebody has violated your right, you will have to fight. It is as simple as that, and you can't just simply give up.
2010 में हमने बुक किया और आज 2024 हो गया। 14 साल का वनवास काट रहा हूँ मैं।
कुल मिला के ये देखा कि मेरा जो सपना था, मेरी मदर का सपना था, आज यहाँ पर वो टूट गया।
Homeowners, we feel your pain. If you have a case study similar to that of Commander Sardana, Bushra and Amit Shukla, write to us at this address. We will arrange for the experts to advise you on what to do next.